How many people have seen Bigfoot? It's impossible to say for sure, but ask around, and you might be surprised by the answer. Thousands of people claim to have encountered a large, hairy bipedal ape in the forests of North America. This creature, known as Bigfoot or Sasquatch, has captivated imaginations for decades. Is it a real, undiscovered animal? Or is there a more mundane explanation for these sightings? The enduring mystery of Bigfoot has been a topic of debate and fascination for generations. From grainy photographs to chilling eyewitness accounts, the legend of this elusive creature continues to intrigue and mystify. While skeptics dismiss the sightings as hoaxes or misidentifications, believers point to the sheer volume and consistency of reports as evidence that something unknown lurks in the shadows. The question remains, is Bigfoot a real creature or simply a figment of our collective imagination? Perhaps the most compelling evidence for Bigfoot's existence are the enormous footprints often found in the wilderness. These footprints have been discovered in various locations, from the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest to the remote mountain ranges of the Himalayas. These tracks, sometimes measuring over 20 inches long, are difficult to dismiss as belonging to any known animal. The sheer size of these prints suggests a creature of immense stature, far larger than any bear or human. Believers argue that the size, shape, and gait pattern evident in the footprints are consistent with a large bipedal primate. They point to the distinct toe impressions and the depth of the prints, which indicate a heavy, upright walker. They point to the sheer number of footprint casts collected over the years, often found in remote areas far from human settlements. These casts have been meticulously documented and stored by researchers and enthusiasts alike. Some researchers have even analyzed the pressure distribution and dermal ridges of these prints, suggesting a level of detail and anatomical accuracy that would be difficult to fake. The dermal ridges, similar to human fingerprints, add another layer of complexity to the mystery. However, skeptics remain unconvinced. They argue that footprints can be easily fabricated, and that the lack of clear, high-quality images of the tracks cast doubt on their authenticity. They also highlight instances where known hoaxers have admitted to creating fake prints. Furthermore, they point out that the ground conditions in many alleged Bigfoot habitats are not conducive to preserving detailed impressions, making it unlikely that so many clear footprints would be found. The soft, muddy terrain often distorts the prints, leading to ambiguous shapes. The debate over the authenticity of Bigfoot footprints continues to fuel the mystery. As long as new footprints keep appearing, and researchers keep analyzing them, the legend of Bigfoot will endure, captivating the imagination of believers and skeptics alike. Beyond footprints, enthusiasts also point to a collection of photographs and videos as evidence of Bigfoot. These visual records, often grainy and ambiguous, have fueled the debate for decades, capturing the imagination of both believers and skeptics alike. The most famous of these is the Patterson-Gimlin film, a short, shaky clip shot in 1967 that appears to show a large, hairy creature striding through a clearing. This footage has become iconic, often cited as the most compelling visual evidence of Bigfoot's existence. While the footage has been analyzed extensively, its authenticity remains hotly contested. Experts have scrutinized every frame, debating whether the creature's gait and proportions could be replicated by a human in a suit, or if they truly depict an unknown species. Believers argue that the creature's movements and anatomical features are inconsistent with a human in a costume. They highlight the fluidity and natural motion of the creature, suggesting that such realism would be difficult to achieve with the special effects technology available in the 1960s. They point to the apparent musculature and the way the creature's hair moves independently of its body as evidence of its authenticity. This level of detail, they argue, would be nearly impossible to fake convincingly. However, skeptics argue that the footage is too blurry and inconclusive to draw any definitive conclusions. They believe that the lack of clarity leaves too much room for interpretation and doubt. They suggest that the creature could be a person in a suit, its movements distorted by the limitations of the camera technology at the time. The shaky, low-resolution footage, they argue, could easily mask the imperfections of a costume. Furthermore, the filmmaker's history of exaggerating encounters with the creature has cast a shadow of doubt over the film's legitimacy. Critics point out that the context in which the film was made raises questions about its credibility. Despite decades of analysis and debate, the Patterson-Gimlin film remains a tantalizing piece of the Bigfoot puzzle. It continues to inspire curiosity and controversy, keeping the legend of Bigfoot alive in the public consciousness. Section 4. The problem with eyewitnesses. Thousands of people claim to have seen Bigfoot firsthand. These eyewitness accounts, often detailed and emotionally charged, describe encounters with a large, hairy creature that is both powerful and elusive. Witnesses often report feeling a sense of awe or terror in the presence of the creature, describing its piercing gaze and the overwhelming stench of its musky odor. While these stories can be compelling, skeptics caution against placing too much weight on eyewitness testimony. They argue that human perception is flawed, particularly in high-stress situations. Factors such as poor lighting, fear, and the expectation of seeing something unusual can all influence what we think we see. Furthermore, the human imagination is highly suggestible, and stories can become distorted and exaggerated over time as they are retold. While some eyewitness accounts may be sincere, it is difficult to separate genuine observations from misinterpretations, hoaxes, and the power of suggestion. The subjective nature of eyewitness testimony makes it a challenging form of evidence in the pursuit of Bigfoot. Section 5. The Call of the Wild Man. The belief in wild, hairy, human-like creatures is not unique to North America. These mysterious beings have captured the imagination of people across the globe for centuries. Cultures around the world have their own versions of Bigfoot, each with its own unique name, appearance, and mythology. These stories are deeply embedded in the cultural fabric of many societies, reflecting a universal human curiosity. From the Yeti of the Himalayas to the Yowie of Australia, these creatures embody the universal human fascination with the unknown and the untamed. The Yeti, often described as a large, ape-like creature, is said to roam the snowy peaks of the Himalayas, while the Yowie is believed to inhabit the dense forests of the Australian outback. In many cultures, these creatures are not simply cryptids, but rather hold a significant place in folklore and mythology. They are woven into the very stories that define a people's heritage and identity. They are often seen as guardians of the forest, tricksters, or even deities. In some traditions, they are protectors of the natural world, ensuring the balance between humans and nature is maintained. These stories, passed down through generations, reflect a deep connection to the natural world and the mysteries it holds. Elders recount tales of encounters and legends, keeping the lore alive for future generations. The prevalence of similar creatures in diverse cultures across the globe raises intriguing questions about the roots of these beliefs. How did such similar stories emerge in places so far apart? Is there a common thread that ties these myths together? Are they simply products of our shared evolutionary history, a reflection of our primal fear of the unknown? Perhaps these creatures are manifestations of ancient human experiences, encoded in our collective memory. Or could they point to a deeper truth, a shared experience that transcends cultural boundaries? Maybe these legends are more than just stories, hinting at a reality that we have yet to fully understand. The enduring allure of wild men continues to captivate and inspire, reminding us of the power of imagination and the enduring mystery of the natural world. As we explore these tales, we are reminded of our own place within the vast tapestry of life on Earth and the endless wonders that await discovery.